curious, concerned, simple visitors, or fellow subscribers. This is Brian from Joy Charge Gamers, charging you with joy. And yes, as you can tell from the title of this video, I finally did it. I finally beat a Classic Spec Ops mission on solo. To think, after almost 8 months of this game being out, I finally managed to complete a mission on solo, but better yet, I also managed to do it with all 3 stars for my performance. I know it doesn't seem like I'm extremely excited because this was done around a few days ago. I was away for the weekend. I was spending Father's Day with my dad as well as my grandparents on Sunday, and I was hoping to get around to this video as soon as I got back yesterday after all the Father's Day celebratory stuff, but unfortunately I was extremely tired. I had absolutely no energy, and I just couldn't really build up the motivation to work on that. So yeah, here I am now, and I'm finally going to show you guys what happened. This is primarily going to serve as commentary for what happened rather than an actual Let's Play, because I did this mission during my own time, and I didn't really think to actually start recording for this sort of thing. So yeah, this is going to be a little bit different in comparison to what you're normally used to, but I promise you it's worth it. Okay, so we're actually going to be doing a voice recording of this rather than using a camera because I don't want to get myself distracted by looking back and forth between the camera and the actual footage. So yeah, this is the start of the clip, and I'm using the same strategy that I did before in the last time I did this mission, which is by grabbing a riot shield, except this time I kept the assault rifle that I had at the start because I feel I needed an alternative for long range shots in case, like, you know, because the shotgun doesn't really do great with long range. And I'm climbing up the back ladder to get the intel because it's the easiest way to get to the intel on this floor. And I feel this is a good time to talk about why I feel performance as the factor for stars in this mission is such a big problem with this mission in particular, because while it does say the actual location where the intel is at, the spots in which the intel is located in are ultimately randomized every time you play this mission. Like, they could be in one spot at one time, they could be in the same spot another, but then like the third time around, they'll be in a completely different spot, like in this instance, the second intel, where there are 4 different trucks, and in one playthrough they could be on one truck, on another playthrough they could be on another, and so on and so forth. And for this particular section, I use the snapshot grenade so I can take down all the enemies, and by the time all of them are taken down, I immediately go over for the sniper rifle that's at the truck here, because there's the two snipers up at the building, one at the window, one at the balcony just below it, and it's good to take those guys out first, so that way they're not shooting at you when you're searching for the intel, and you don't have to worry about the other enemies in the meantime, until, like, if you don't find any of the intel in any of the first few trucks you check out, and if they're not there, you should just throw a snapshot grenade and shoot as many of them as possible, and then search the rest of the trucks. As you can see, I managed to find it in the second one, but I still threw a snapshot anyway, just so I could take down any of the enemies before moving along, because I didn't want to be, like, ambushed by any of them before moving on to the third piece, which can be pretty tricky. Ran over that guy. I was pretty happy about that one. I was kind of chuckling there. I think I did. Anyway, I don't really remember because it was late at night. I was tired, and I spent at least an hour and a half on this particular mission trying to complete it. So that's like an hour and a half worth of attempts. Now, this is where the biggest problem with performance being the major factor of this mission takes place, because the intel in this spot are actually not just this spot, but 2 different spots, because while I managed to find the intel there, the intel can actually be in one of 2 spots in this area. They could either be in this building or the building across from the exit that I almost ran out of, where the pool is. And they could either be in one or the other, and again, they could either be in the building I first found the intel here in, or they could have been in the other one, and if it was the other way around, I would have wasted much more time than necessary trying to get the intel and then drive out of there to where the last intel is, which is at the giant mansion. Now, I spent a little bit more time here because I actually wanted to make sure I cleared out as many enemies as possible before going for the vehicle. I didn't want to get myself shot, like, from every single angle, even though I do have a riot shield. It was pretty tricky to get out of this area, and now I'm driving over to the last location, and the best tip for the last one is don't go to the front entrance of the mansion, go to the side entrance, because if you go through the front area, there's going to be a lot of enemies that are going to try and shoot at you, and you're going to want to try and rush through the doorway, and that's a problem because there are 2 claymores there. In fact, there are claymores all over the place, just like right here. I shot it at this particular point, and I just was closely
crouching around the place, just making sure I didn't spot any enemies. I also threw a snapshot grenade to make sure there weren't any other enemies around, ones that I could shoot, maybe try and wall bang. Couldn't really do it here as much. I managed to take down one a little bit, and there was an RPG guy there. Those guys are absolute assholes to take down. But, yeah, they start shooting in, and you just want to be careful. I thought I managed to spot him and tried to shoot him down, but that wasn't the case, so I was just waiting for a little bit, and then just ran through to get to the stairway, grabbed a little bit more ammo, and once you're at the stairway, there's going to be another claymore right at that entryway. There's going to be quite a few claymores, so just be careful, slowly crouch walk around the place, and just make sure you don't bump into any of them. If there are not this many areas, just move along. I'm about to walk through this door, shoot the claymore, and then they're going to throw a few flash grenades. There's another guy right there, and it's probably going to throw you off guard. It almost seems like they get you every single time, but as soon as I walk up the stairs, there's probably going to be another one that comes through, followed by the Juggernaut that comes in. But I run to the side, and the Juggernaut is just on its way, and best thing to do in this instance, don't fight it, just go through the side window. It's the easiest way to explore the top floor and find the intel there. You're playing on solo, you only have an assault rifle with an incendiary launcher. You're not going to make it through this area, even if you do have a riot shield. Just get the intel, get out of that area as fast as possible. And yeah, that was way too close for me, so I just gunned it. I tried to get to the nearest stairway as quickly as possible. I grabbed some stims to get myself some quick health back, and I was being chased by the Juggernaut in this particular instance. I was extremely terrified at this point because I was afraid I was going to die. Ran upstairs to avoid as much damage from the Juggernaut, used another stim, went down the stairs, and just went down the second set, and carefully made my way to the back entrance so that way I wasn't being fired at by the other enemies. These are tactics you really need to be careful with. You really need to slowly but surely make your way through. Don't bother with any of the other enemies because they're going to be everywhere. You just want to try and get there as carefully and quickly as possible, which is very tricky to do at the same time because once you're in that vehicle, you're going to have a lot of people shooting at you from every single angle. But at this point, I'm hyperventilating. I'm kind of hyperventilating now because I'm still flabbergasted I was able to do this. I got a little too excited and ran out the vehicle when I realized I was actually supposed to drive out of there with the vehicle. More people were showing up. I drive through the gateway, and blammo, I managed to fucking do it. I wanted to scream so fucking badly at this particular moment because it was insane for me to have managed to complete this mission, not just on solo, but with all 3 stars, and I'm extremely happy that I was able to do this. But that just comes to show how you need to carefully approach this mode. I'm just replaying the clip at this point so that way I can keep on talking, and just trying to get out why this mode is so hard and why it is kind of problematic. Because the intel is always in different spots every single time that you play, it makes the reason behind the rank being based around performance kind of bullshit, because your performance is ultimately based around where the intel is. You could either get through this mission as quickly as possible because the intel is located in closer spots, or it could take forever, and you may end up getting a lesser rank as a result. And why I keep preaching that this mode should have a difficulty select, at least for particular missions, or maybe just variations of missions that have more tolerable difficulties, the kinds that don't really need to earn rewards for, but you can rank yourself for if you want. Less XP when you complete the missions. Just give us the kinds that are fun to play, and there won't be as many problems. But I mean, considering there are only 6 missions at the time that this video is being uploaded, I mean, it's been like this since the last Spec Ops mission that I did, the last Classic Spec Ops mission, not like survival mode, but they haven't added new missions there. They haven't added new features to this mode. I mean, it's fun to play on co-op, don't get me wrong. I love playing Spec Ops on co-op, whether it's the main experience, whether it's Classic Spec Ops, or whether it's survival mode. I love playing all of these on co-op, and I feel it's the best way to play. But when you play this solo, it is frustratingly difficult. But I mean, for most people, they probably won't tolerate this for as long. I can slightly tolerate this for as long. This is like, I can tolerate this more than like Black Ops 4 multiplayer. That's garbage, but this I can tolerate because I'm used to these kind of games. I'm used to games that are structured like this as a whole, but it still doesn't excuse the fact that this wasn't how Spec Ops used to be beforehand, and why I keep preaching for it. Why I want this mode to have a difficulty select. Why I want these missions to be more tolerable. Because there are people out there who just like playing on solo. There are people who are not as lenient with multiplayer and co-op and Warzone and even campaign. Like, I mean, like, they can probably only play the campaign for so long, especially considering that there's not much replay value to it. There's not much worth in playing through the campaign multiple different times, which is why I keep saying, add a difficulty select, add, like, different variations of missions, throw the trials in Spec Ops. Give us something that makes this mode worth replaying, because without that, I feel that this mode will suffer for the solo play. I mean, yeah, like, there's not a lot of people that play Call of Duty on solo, but there are a lot of them that do. It's the reason why people like zombies. There's a reason why YouTubers like Syndicate and Noah J456 all exist playing zombies on solo and trying to get as high rounds as possible, but Spec Ops doesn't live to those expectations. It goes for a kind of experience that can be played with multiple people, and that's fine. I love the multiplayer in Modern Warfare. I love the co-op, and I like particular aspects of Warzone. I love a lot of things about this game, and I think it's one of the best Call of Duty games that we've had in a very long time. But I do think that this particular mode needs touch-ups if they really want to get the attention, if they really want to have the appreciation of every single player in this game. Because trials are fun, but you need to play multiplayer to even access those missions. You need to rank past 55 in order to start getting tickets. And I feel that's not a very reasonable way to play those missions, to play solo missions, basically, because they're tolerable on solo. These require more, they require more attention span, they require more knowledge, and they require much more patience than any other veteran-level campaign mission could possibly give you. It requires so much more of it, and the reason I feel that we need more touch-ups to this mode, or we need more accessibility to Trials mode, because solo players are being left out. Survival mode is still impossible, and I just feel like it's a bit of a problem for people like me specifically, because I like a lot of this game. But I want to be able to enjoy 100% of this and say, yeah, I think that this is the best Call of Duty game we've ever had. And there's a lot about this game for me to say that. There's a lot about this for me to warrant that kind of thing. And I do believe that this game is amazing. It is, without a doubt, the one Call of Duty game that I actually feel like I got my money's worth. It was the kind of game that I feel like I can spend hours upon hours for, and I think I'll be playing a lot of this even when the next Call of Duty game comes out. But at the same time, I'm probably not even going to get that because I'm a little worried for this year's Call of Duty game, considering the responsibilities that have been pushed onto Treyarch and all that. But I like what I see here, and it's the kind that I will probably continue playing for as long as I possibly can. I want this game to have more to it to make it worth playing, and I am still very glad that I beat this mission, and maybe I'll try the other ones. Who knows, maybe I just need more time with this, and maybe I'll actually be able to enjoy this more. Maybe they'll eventually make those touch-ups to survival mode at some point, or maybe they won't. I don't know. I'll probably just play more co-op with this game to get the best experience out of it, and I'm fine with that. I'm fine with what this game has to offer, and not so much with what this game doesn't have to offer. I would prefer to have what this game doesn't have, but it's perfectly fine if they don't decide to do this. But that's all I'm going to say here. I'm going to cut this off here. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, if you were charged with joy in this video and you liked it, please be sure to give it a like, and also put down some comments down in the comment section below on anything you guys would like to see in the future. Please be sure to share this video with your friends on social media. And of course, if you want to stay up to date with even more of our stuff, you can subscribe to the channel for more. With that being said, this has been Brian from Charge Gamers. We've been playing Modern Warfare Classic Spec Ops. And I'll see you all next time. Farewell!